4A Division I, Pickle. We're revealing the top 10 in Class 4A Division I according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Of course, we are the official rankings provider of the Associated Press. We start with the number 10 team, the Midlothian Heritage Jaguars, the number 10 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. 9-3 from a year ago, came up a little bit short to Paris in the area round of the playoffs, but we think that's going to fuel them. This is a team that does have some pieces to fill, especially kind of in the offensive line. Up front, this is a team that I think is going to be very dangerous, though, if they can progress in the trenches. Wide receiver, don't worry about it. Defense back, don't worry about it. It's going to be in the trenches that determines where this team goes. But Midlothian Heritage, we've got high hopes for. They start the year number 10. Number 9. The Bulldogs of Kilgore, the number 9 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Remember, this is a team that ran all the way to the regional final last year, and we think they have a chance to be very good, especially on the defensive line. Their defensive line and their secondary could be very good. They are pretty young offensively. This is a young Kilgore offense. It may take a little bit of time for them to get into gear, but if they get there, they're going to be dangerous. They start the year number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Their district bunkmate is number 8. The Lindale Eagles are the number 8 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. They ran all the way to the state championship game last year, and they do lose superstar running back Jordan Jenkins, but they have a lot coming back.
Yeah.
I believe they've got 4 of their 5 offensive linemen coming back. A lot of the worker bees, so to speak, around Chris Cochran's squad are back. If you think last year was a flash in the pan, you are wrong. Lindale is going to be dangerous. They start the year number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 7, it's the Paris Wildcats are the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Last year, a team that peaked late, and that's the thing we really like about this team. They peaked late. They made it all the way to the regional final, and in my estimation, I think that having a 3-year starter at quarterback and having good trench play is going to put them in the mix. They have to replace some defensive sides, but this team, I think, has taken some steps to put them in the mix. They're in Region 2. Keep an eye on Paris. They're the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 6, the Austin LBJ Jaguars, the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Ran all the way to the state semifinals and came within a whisker of playing for a state championship. I think Jamal Fenner is one of the best young coaches in the state of Texas and a guy who's going to have some offensive firepower to work with. Now look, they lose the guys. Andrew Makuba is gone. Latrell McCutcheon is gone. I understand if you're a little bit skeptical. We are not skeptical. I think LBJ is here to stay. They are the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Matriculating into the number 5, the top 5, where we find the Waco Vega Pirates checking in at number 5. Last year, a little bit of a step back for them. Of course, there was no place for them to go, considering how good they had been over the past couple of years. This is a physical team, a team that I think has a chance to be very, very good, especially if that defense matures, which Don Hyde, one of the very best at getting defenses up to speed. I need to see where their offensive firepower comes from. That's a question I have for them, but usually they've been able to answer that in the affirmative. Make no mistake, La Vega is going to be a threat. The Pirates are the number 5 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. To number 4, the Rice Birds of El Campo are the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and it is easy to see why. This team is absolutely loaded, especially at the running back spot, led by blue-chip running back Ruben Owens. This team is dangerous. This team is fast. This team is physical. They've got everything you want. New coach Chad Worrell steps in, and how are they going to learn that new system? That's a big question. They did lose a few good players, but El Campo has a winning coach. They have winning players. They have a team that I think can make a very deep run. I think they're the favorite in Region 3. They start the year number 4 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. To number 3, the Melissa Cardinals are the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Last year's regional semifinal run was very good, and we think they could be even better this year, especially because of what they bring back in the trenches. It's going to be a good offensive line and defensive line. That's going to be the question is going to be, can they kind of get up to speed in the other parts of it, especially at the skill position spots? If they can get up to speed there, they're going to be very dangerous. Melissa is the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Only 2 spots left, Pickle. One of them, the number 2 spot, belongs to Corpus Christi Cal Allen. Coach Phil Danaher is back, the winningest coach in Texas high school football history. Brings back a team that I think is going to be very strong on the defensive side, which is pretty par for the course for the Wildcats. This is a team that I think does lose a fair amount of their playmakers, but the offensive line, I think, is going to be very solid. They're going to run the ball. This is a team that we think has a chance to make a very deep run. Keep an eye on Cal Allen. We think that they're very dangerous. We think they have a chance to get back to AT&T Stadium. The Cal Allen Wildcats start the year number 2, which means that the number 1 team in 4A Division I to start the year,
the defending state champs,
the Eagles of Argyle, start the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas football after last year's undefeated run, 16-0. Look, a couple of pieces to fill, right? All right, they bring back 5 starters on offense, 6 starters on defense. The offensive line has to fill a couple of key pieces. This is going to be a different-looking team, but Todd Rogers is a wizard.
Our 4A coach of the year.
Plain and simple. And he's going to have those boys ready. We have no doubt that they're going to be a threat. They have to go through an extremely difficult region and a very difficult district. 3 teams in their own district are ranked between Argyle, Melissa, and Paris. But we think Argyle is the best of the bunch. They start the year number 1 in 4A Division I, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Of course, we have expanded rankings for every classification. The 2021 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, available at texasfootball.com/subscribe.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on texasfootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to texasfootball.com/subscribe.